Welcome to episode 10 of If Object Show hosts were charged for their crimes, the series where I explore the crimes of various Object Show hosts. Before we begin, I would like to ask you all to subscribe with notifications on, as it would be much appreciated. Round 1. PSVita from Object Show 87. Welcome to Object Show 87, the granddaddy of all joke shows. Let's see what sort of things that PSVita has done. In the first episode, Big Benny tries to correct PSVita when he says that Kite is correct that 4 plus 3 is 8. We don't actually get to see yet what he does to Big Benny, but it most likely involved force, so I'll count this as an assault charge. He does it a second time in episode 2, this time with Spider Leg. I'll count it as assault again since we don't get to see what actually happened, just static and a jump cut. Steve gets eliminated with a bajillion votes and gets seemingly popped out of existence. However, we do learn later that he was just teleported to where all of the eliminated contestants end up. I'll do 12 counts since I also have to include trapping rejoiners and debuters as well. Then, in episode 4, PSVita forces Big Benny out of the game once again immediately after he rejoined, because he tried to correct him again. In the same episode, Kite decided it was a good idea to say he was dressed up as PSVita when he actually put on a fat person costume. Naturally, PSVita took offense to that statement and eliminated Kite in the same way as Big Benny and Spider Leg. The final crime of episode 4 is that, in order to ruin the wedding of Midget and Spider Leg, he incited Keemstar to set up the Creeper with a Steve face shirt to explode and ruin the wedding. I would say that this warrants an incitement charge. In episode 5, PSVita reveals that he killed Big Benny for being rude to him. I would feel bad for Big Benny, but maybe he shouldn't have been so rude. That said, PSVita is still in the wrong. This is just a situation where everyone is. He then kills Spider Leg in a bout of carelessness because of how excited he is about something. He once again eliminates Box of Crayons right after he rejoins for, you guessed it, being rude. Time for yet another assault charge. As a result of none of the contestants getting him anything for Christmas, he turns the rocket ship they're in towards the ground in an attempt to kill them. However, attempted self-game over is not a crime in the United States. Fortunately, Stick Figure gave him a picture of a total drama character whose name I forget as a gift, and saved their lives in the process. Which means that this is only attempted murder. Finally, in episode 6, he threatens to kick all of the eliminated contestants into the sun if they don't move to his bleachers. They clearly take the threat seriously because they actually do it. Altogether, PSVita will be going away, as Stick Figure says, but what is his sentence? 2 life sentences, 58 years in prison, and a fine of $312,500. Round 2. A cube from Yet Another Gameshow. The first crime committed by a cube is, predictably enough, forced imprisonment. 9 counts of it to be exact, over the course of the season. They also get dropped into the elimination area, eliminated contestants that is, so this could also count as reckless endangerment. 9 counts of it, including when 3 that failed to rejoin were dropped back into the pit. In episode 6, the challenge is to escape one of the glass boxes that all 9 remaining contestants get trapped into. I'm going to count this as 9 more counts of forced imprisonment, I think. In episode 7, the challenge is to jump over a very deep pit. Since KSSU dies when they hit the bottom of it, I think I could count this as a reckless endangerment charge. A mining challenge? Without any sort of safety equipment or anything? Wowee, I can charge an OSHA violation charge for what feels like the first time in an eternity. Finally, in episode 12, he reveals that he has a spaceship by abducting everyone into it. I would count it as kidnapping, I think, since they all woke up without any memory of what happened. All of the crimes that Cube has committed adds up to 248 years in prison and a fine of $32,000. Wow, that's it? Wow. Round 3. PAB from Vortexes and Velvets. The first thing that Pluto and Blossom, which is what his name stands for, does is to kidnap the 16 contestants from whatever they were doing before to compete in their competition show. That would be 16 counts of kidnapping right off the bat. Oh joy, more forced imprisonment. The show switches setting each episode, and when one gets eliminated at the end, they get left behind inside of their respective tube. That means there are 5 counts of forced imprisonment in this series. At the start of episode 2, it turns out Harp isn't the only one gone, as several others also got replaced. I don't know what happened to them, but what I do know is that the replacements were kidnapped. In episode 3, the challenge is to steal some kind of gem. I think I'm just gonna call this incitement since he told them to do it, especially since they almost slipped up and said it was his job to do it. In episode 6, PAB pins Thanatos against a wall, which I think could count as assault, I guess? This one is kinda difficult. They haven't gotten a lot of screen time though at this point. Finally, in episode 8, before the beginning of the challenge, PAB threatens to kill anyone who interrupts him again. Vortexes and Velvets is a fun show with some interesting ideas. Maybe I'll do a more in-depth review at some point. In fact, I could do more in-depth reviews looks of any of the shows I've covered if you'd like, but that's besides the point. Anyways, PAB's sentence amounts to 417 years in prison and a fine of $2,500. Thank you all for watching this video.